Wine, what up, world? Welcome to another episode of Neighbor to Neighbor. I am your host, Teasing Man, along with my host, Mr. Sam Chisholm. And yes, we are back. Like I told y'all we would be. Before we get started, I appreciate everyone who tuned in to the initial episode. It was beautiful. Great engagement. We appreciate y'all. So we definitely gonna keep going now. For those who watched it and noticed I was talking too much, I noticed it too, so I corrected that. And I'm gonna allow my co-host to get his points out. You know, I'm so used to being on this camera by myself that I didn't realize I had certain habits. But outside of that, we'll get started. What's up, my brother? How you doing today, man?
Pretty good. Can't
Pretty
complain.
good. Can't complain. If you could, what would you complain about?
Not a thing.
Not a thing. God is good. Like my hat
Yeah.
say, all the time. You feel me? Yeah, I got this from Hobby Life for $7.
Yeah, that's even better.
I'm gonna need you. Yeah, you gotta come closer. Okay.
This is the last Christmas present. 2025. Another Saints hat, but it's great though.
Christmas present. Who got you
Yeah.
that one?
Saints.
You know what I'm saying? You got it. The Saints got it for you.
Yeah, I went to the game last year, 2025 pregame. But got it then, but got it for Christmas though too though.
Oh, so you got the same hat. Where the other one at?
At the house.
Let me get that.
No.
Oh, he like the dudes that used to have CDs.
no.
You know, how I used to have a partner that used to buy
Yeah.
2 of everything.
Oh yeah.
And he would have one he would listen to. You kids, y'all probably don't know about CDs. But, you know, I remember when The Last Don came out. Remember it was like I think that was the first ever 3D CD where, you know how the cover flickered.
Yeah.
And we had skipped school and everything to go, man. The Last Don was a big deal. Remember when that came out? The Last Don?
Come on.
The only one bigger was Get Rich or Die Trying with 50 Cent. But yeah, anywho, yeah.
You like on house party. Gotta get your own, my brother. Billy D say.
Yeah. Which one, Robin Williams or Pops?
Robin Williams.
John Witherspoon.
Robin
They
Williams.
had Robin Williams. Well, rest in peace of both of them brothers, matter of fact. But Robin Williams died way too soon. Baby's Kids, if you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was the voiceover.
Big guy.
Yeah, that's when he was about to blow, but you know, what happened. So rest in peace to the God. But we be freestyling and stuff for real, so we going on the whim. So I'ma just was thinking about something earlier, and you had gave me some advice on parenting, which led me to a question.
Talk to him.
Without getting
What you
into
got?
details about my situation, because that ain't for the world.
Nah.
What do you think the biggest disconnect today in today's parenting that what kids seem to not have the same level of respect for their parents as when we were coming up, from your perspective?
I think the biggest disconnect nowadays is we don't know what's going on with them. But when we try to figure out what's going on with them, they kind of I want to say what shade off. They don't want to tell us because we won't understand, but we do have enough understanding to find out what's going on and try to see what's going on. But kids now they want to do a lot of secret stuff. You know, like a lot of social media that we didn't do and we didn't have. Because remember, we didn't have social media back then.
Yeah.
All we had was the telephone and each other, you know. But back in my days, you know, we had just a telephone and, you know.
The big cell phone.
You know, we didn't have those. All we had was the ring.
Oh, you right. You way
You know
older
what I'm
than me,
saying?
right?
Yeah, I'm look 50 plus.
You're
here.
right.
So, you know, all we have was the ring and.
Yeah, my era is the beginning of the internet.
Correct.
Dial up.
Correct. That's what I said when you was 10.
Yeah, you lived in a world with no internet.
Correct. It was some internet. It was a little dial up, you know what I'm saying? But only special people had them, like, you know.
Yeah, y'all was more telegram.
Love letters fold up like this here and put the thing in there. Do you like me or not? Yes or no. You know what I'm saying? To, from.
Yeah, we caught the tail end of the end of that.
Right. Y'all did this, yeah.
Like, you know, I know I'm saying I did it, but we was the tail end of that.
True.
You know, kind of filtering out to more like
modern.
yeah.
But that's the thing, and that's the thing though. Every generation is different, but in the Bible say every generation get weaker and wiser. Maybe the weak came in on the weak on explaining things, or the wiser came in on what wiser on the internet. They wiser on what's going on now than we are.
Okay, that makes sense. So, with the disconnect being pointed out, what do you think the solution is?
Well, solution of it is you just gotta just be patient, wait and see what's going on. We got to, like I said, we got to open eyes bigger to find out. Like I said, you older parents, like I'm not an older parent, but all my kids grown. But I got grandkids, so guess what? I have to see what the problems is out here of the world is, so I can finally kind of compare what their problems could be. That's the disconnect and the connect of it, because we have to know, like if a car, you get a car, do she want a car or do he want a car? They may not even want a car, because nowadays a lot of them, they do what? Scooters, Uber. They don't even know how to drive. Some of them don't even know how to drive. They only drive on the game. So a lot of like I said, it's a lot of if maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you may think a car important. I may not think a car important. I may think it's nothing but a car. You may think like someone, hey, Scat Pack is, oh yeah, that's great. Oh, it's this is that, but it may not be that great.
Oh, you basically saying you got to break it down on an individual.
Correct.
Like, if you have multiple kids, like you can't treat one the same. It's like
No.
He may want a car, she may want a scooter, he may want to ride the bus.
Correct.
Just to throw something out there.
Correct.
And you have to tend to that.
The way you have to tend to.
Specifically, like, okay, I can't do Junior like I do Riri. I can't do Riri like I do John.
Correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm following you.
You are following correct.
But then you said patience.
That's it.
Patience and understanding that you don't understand.
Well, patience got to come. Just come with a person, and come with time, and come with the things that you're dealing with. Some people may not have as much patience as the next one, but if you dealt with it before, and you know that it's gonna take time to do this, do that, you can spread the knowledge, but guess what? They might not believe you, and they might try to jump ahead of it, and then guess what's gonna happen? Then it's gonna spill in their face. Then it's gonna come back. Oh, I should have listened to what you said. True, but patience is always what it's all about. I mean, we can't rush things. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be what it's gonna be regardless.
Right. That makes sense because without going into detail, you told me something. I was going through something with my kid, and let's just say that I responded emotionally, and you had told me something that I didn't think you was gonna tell me. You were like, "Well, let it be what it's gonna be." If they act grown, treat them grown. Their best defense, silence. That's what you told me. And I was like, I was thinking the right move was to, I'm sorry, forgive me. You like, no, don't do that. The nerve, and like you told me silence. So dive more into that. Like, if you like one of these parents that may be at it with, because once these kids start getting in them teens and, they get real froggish, and you gave me some game that I didn't expect. So kind of expound on that parent that's going through that adolescent rebellious stage.
Well, my thoughts of that is like, okay, so when you dealing with dealing with a teen or dealing with just any children, to me, you have to allow them to express themselves. That's for one. And I didn't say allow them to express themselves and cuss you out and everything else and all that. No. It's got to be a certain type of respect involved, because you have to give them a certain type of respect also. But at the same time, they got to understand too that you the parent and they're the child, and child got a place that they have to stay in too. And being in tune with the children is good, but at the same time, you still have to be the parent. You have to be the overseer of what goes on and what's not going to go on, because guess what? You have to be the one that's going to be responsible for that child at the end of the day. Being like I said, with kids that just say not in your house. I'm experienced on that too, because my kids didn't all just grow in my house. We had problems here and there. You know, I had a divorce, and then guess what? The kids never got split up, but they went with their mama. But at the same time, you know, the mother has a lot to do with it too. She has, you know, y'all have to communicate and get along and say, okay, this was I'm teaching her here, so I wouldn't mind if you teach her that there, or you know, because I got 2 girls, 2 boys, so that's why I'm saying her, because girls are hard at times. Girls, like I said, they tough. And you have to ask them
Hey man, go ahead.
Yeah.
You said something down.
You know, they dad is girls, and you know, and the sons, you know, they gonna follow their daddy on certain things, and then you know the mama gonna have input too. But at the same time, the mother and father got to have a communication level to where they're adults, and they had, you know, they gotta say, okay, I'm gonna move on to go with this person, that person. So we gonna let y'all, you know, meet up in between. Say, okay, this is my lady, such and such. This is my man, such and such. And y'all got to meet and talk. It's got to be a meet and greet involved. If y'all meet and greet, and guess what? The kids gonna see it's okay to meet and greet. If the other person have kids, the person don't have kids, still the child gonna still see that if my mama can be a mature adult, my daddy can be a mature adult, and they can talk in between. Guess what we gonna do? I'm gonna be this person that's gonna sit here, and I'm gonna be a mature person to grow up and be a mature adult too. Not just out of control. If my mom out of control, then I'm out of control. It's not gonna work like that. Somebody got to have the control in the, you know, in the whole thing. I'm not gonna say what this is a man's world, because I already know it's gonna be some offense on that. But at the same time, you know what they say. Go back to the Bible. It says man controls the house and blah 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 blah. I'm not saying the woman don't. If a man not there, she gotta do what she gotta do. But at the same time, that comes in that submissive thing. The submissive thing got to go with the kids too. The kids got to be submissive to who's in authority, not just, oh well, if mama say don't trust a man, forget a man, blah blah blah. You know how they do it. You know, skip a man, and no, it shouldn't go like that.
You can cuss if you want to.
Nah, it's all good. They understand what's going on. Trust me, they understand what's going on. They ain't gonna like it.
Yeah, they ain't gonna
but
like it.
The thing about
it's
it
real.
is,
The truth is the truth.
The thing about it is, we, you know what I'm saying, we gotta straighten our act up too. As men, we gotta straighten our act up.
Whoa.
Yeah, we do.
Applause.
The thing about
Y'all saw how he did the flip side though. Yeah. After he kind of But go ahead.
Because see, a lot of us men, we got this, we got that, we got this, we got that. But at the same time, don't make it seem like they ain't got nothing. Because once they feel they ain't got nothing, then here they come with this. Oh, so since you got that, mean I ain't got. No, didn't mean that. Because guess what? I'm still in the house with you.
Yeah.
I'm still providing. Yeah. I'm still making sure, you know, supporting what you got. But women, you got to speak up and say what you want supported. Not sit there and assume that I can read your mind.
We ain't mind readers, lady. We ain't trying to be.
Exactly. So if you don't say nothing, I mean, closed mouth won't get
Well,
fed.
matter of fact, a man is the most we ain't trying to read your mind. Because men, the way we operate, and it's in our nature. Like, let's just say, for instance, me and my brother into it. As men, it's almost frowned upon in the men's circle if you had an issue with somebody and you ain't addressed. It's kind of like somebody coming at me about Sam that know Sam. You know what I'm gonna tell that man? Why you telling me? Talk to that man. So ladies, I guess what he's saying is some things are in y'all nature that we can't avoid. But there's things that's in male nature that we can't avoid. And a part of a male's nature is to mind your motherfucking business. And that ties into the mind reading part. Like, I am a protector. I am a provider. So naturally, I'm going to do the obvious basic things. But some things y'all get mad about because we simply just didn't know. But then y'all will be like, you should have. How the fuck?
But see, that's why I said the ladies have to speak up and teach us some of these things.
Exactly. Like speak your mind. Like tell me how to, like that song I forget when, teach me how to love. Show me the way to surrender. But if you listen to the lyrics in that record, it's basically like a man saying, look, teach me how to love you. True. You know, it's kind of like AI. Like the more I know, like
the more you're gonna.
I'm like, oh, you don't like that? All right, cool. I'm either gonna change it or not, but I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna change the repetitions.
You know, and I agree with that because one thing I do with the mother of my child, and it's funny you said that because I naturally did this without even hearing this game. Mm-hmm. I always told myself until this day, it never happened. I said, no matter when me and my mother's child into it, my daughter ain't gonna never see it. My only rule for my daughter coming up was your only job is to do good in school and do right by your mama. That's it. Like, I don't care what. That ain't your business.
Yeah, but see, you know,
that was a part of the deal.
We say that, but at the end of the day, you gotta realize too. Like I said, daughters are attracted to their daddy because guess what? However they see their daddy in the light, that's how they gonna want their man to treat them. And with me, to my daughters was, if he can't treat you like I treat you, if he can't give you what I give you or more than what I give you, guess what that means? That ain't who you need to be with. Because like just like any daughter, any son too, but any daughter, they mainly go off the father's love. Father's love is everything. Even if they mad with you, guess what? They love the father, you know what I'm saying? Regardless.
I think that's why they get madder when they mad at their dad, because it's like, that's my hero.
Well, let's see, that's the thing. That goes back to the situation that I fell into one time. Like I told my sons, I told my daughters the same thing. You know, they didn't told me all kind of stuff before, but at the same time, I can't turn back the hands of time and say, oh, this shouldn't have happened or that shouldn't have happened. No, it happened. So now we need to capitalize on what need to happen next. That's what's going on next. It's the next thing, not the same thing. The next thing. This is how we need to tackle this problem here. I need you to do this, and that, because guess what? This won't happen to you down the line. You know what I'm saying? The kids ain't gonna believe you. They're gonna bump their head. You gotta let them. You can't save them from everything, and you can't buy them everything. I learned that too.
Whoa.
We know
that's a jewel.
We know we get to buying them everything. We get to saying, "Oh,
that backfires in the long run."
What they say, I ain't gonna do like my daddy did me. I ain't gonna do like my mama did me. Oh, I'm gonna make sure you got this, like that. Hey, some of that's a mistake. You know, because the thing about it is, some of us are successful. Some of us are very successful because of how our mamas treated us and didn't treat us. You know, didn't give us this, didn't give us that. But some of us got out of the mud too. But guess what? It's a lot of us that didn't get it out of the mud. But the thing about it is, they more successful than their parents.
I got a better question. How was your upbringing? How did your pops or your mom? What was that discipline like back in those days?
Man, that's a confusing thing, because I tell you.
All right. Well, let's talk about because I think if we can bring that era to this era, let's see if we can find some middle ground.
I tell you like this, without going into the whole thing, because that's a nasty one.
As much as you feel free to express.
But I tell you like this. What I did was, I had a lot of getting my butt whooped. I had a lot of cutting wood going on. I had a lot of make sure that mama had this, mama had that. I did whatever it took. But at the same time, you know, a lot, like I said, I got, I had like 7, 8 sisters, something like that. But
something like that.
Yeah, you know, on my mama's side.
Oh.
So.
I see. One of them too. All right, cool.
I had a bunch of sisters. A lot of my, like I said, my sisters that's under me, I have like 4 that's up under me. They, like I said, they take a lot of advice from me.
All sisters?
Yeah.
No brothers?
The brother my mama had passed. Took a day and then he passed. But the thing about it is, though, they take a lot of advice from me because I'm the only boy. But at the same time,
That's a lot of pressure though, being on
not
even
really,
whether the youngest or the
Nah,
oldest.
not
Yeah.
really.
But go ahead. I ain't
It
mean to
all
cut
depends
you
on
off.
how you take it.
Because you the man of the house,
Nah,
essentially.
nah. But that's why I say it all depends because the thing about it is, with my sisters, I learned over the years just to try to really just give them advice. Um, I used to try to force it on them. We used to fuss, fight all the time, this, that, and other. But over the years, by learning, I just learned to just give them a piece of advice and let them go with it. Because the thing about it is, you can't force anything on a person because what they're gonna do, they're gonna reject it. And that's the same thing with kids. My sisters came up to where I had to get out there in the road and what had to help provide for them. And they don't know all this stuff. When they found out older, they found out later on in life. Yeah, I got put out at the age of what 14, 15. I was out in the street for a long time until, like I said, I met somebody, and then like I said, I met a couple more people. Like the Bushes out there, like Sam Bush, that's my homeboy, but really kind of like my brother, Dare Ray, Jackie Bush. You know what I'm saying? Brenda Bush, rest today. Rest in peace. She just passed away, but that was one of my families. That I relied on to get to, because they let me stay with them, and then I kind of came up from there. Like Jared Dillon, them, the other guys that Jared Dillon, Lamar Dillon, rest in peace. All them people right there was kind of like
It takes a village.
yeah, kind of like the main people that I went to. I didn't have no regular job. I was doing what I needed to do to send money back to my mom. I was going to school and everything else. But at the same time, my sister saw all that. My sister saw all that. They saw that I was in and out of the house. I was put out. I mean, I'm good. I'm gracious with that. I ain't tripping. But at the same time, that's why I say anything now is like pure humbleness. That's why I don't worry. I don't put pressure on my kids to do this and do that. I did before, you know what I'm saying. But the thing about they ran away from it. Some of the stuff I told them, they could have been better at it, and could have did this, could have did that. Same thing I tell my sister them all the time. A lot of stuff that they did, they could have did this better. They could have felt, did that better. But at the same time, it's like I went to the military first. I graduated high school first. And guess what? I had two sisters. Two sisters went right behind me.
Follow suit, and
they went to the military.
Trying to be like
yeah,
that's
brother. Right.
All right, but before you move a little further, something stood out to me when I ain't gonna say you glossed over it, but it's pivotal. You say you got put out at 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
Not left, put out.
Yep. It's a thing. It's a thing. My mama, she passed. Man, she passed in 2022.
Lord rest her soul, because I got to know his mama. She loved me too, sweetheart. Lord rest in peace.
And
great woman.
Back in them days, like in the early '90s, stuff like that, you had certain things that your parents want you to achieve, and certain things they want you to do. And when you live in the country, I stayed in the country. I didn't Spanish Lake, and there's certain stuff that they wanted you to do, certain things they want you to achieve while you down there. And it's certain, and it helped later on in life with me on just say consistency and being patient, because I had to be patient to find out. I tried to rush things.
That word comes up again.
Yeah, I tried to rush things and say, I want to be grown. Oh, I want to do this.
So you learn through trial and error that you need patience.
Yeah, I wanted to go hang out with everybody else. I wanted to say, okay, so I was, I'm still playing like I am. I don't jump up and jump fly and everything else, because that ain't who I came up as. I was Dickie t-shirt, maybe some shorts here and there. That was a pleasure to have shorts on, but most time I had pants on.
Did y'all grow up poor?
Very poor. So you know what I'm saying? And that's why I try to rush it to get out there and do this, do that, because I was sick of everybody around me. Oh, I got BKs here. Oh, I got Nikes here. I got Jordans here.
Boy, I say them British Nikes. I know you old.
True. you know,
But see,
all that kind of
Kings.
stuff. But guess what though?
LA
That was,
Gibbs.
yeah, that was, you know, then that was good.
That was the
'Cause,
shit.
yeah,
That was
what you
the
you know,
ballads and
right.
the prime phone.
Yeah. But still, you know, and that's the thing too. I traveled a lot when I was younger to try to make it happen. You know, all up, like I said, all up in Homestead and down in Houston, you know, just doing what I do. Going to New Orleans, actually going to the World's Fair when it was a World's Fair. You know, did all that. But at the same time, if I would have just waited my time, you know, it wasn't my turn yet. It wasn't my time to, you know, to do this, do that. But I found out later on, you know, what that means. Like, wait my time, be patient, sit back, you know, read God's word, do this here, you know, do that, you know, be faithful, you know, and all that. It all pays off at the end. But, you know, that's why I say, you know, we grew up dirt poor. To be honest with you, dirt poor.
Below the poverty line.
Well below it.
Well below.
But I was one of them kids every year that get that little black bag from the sheriff department. I can't think what they call that thing. With the toys up in.
We'll call it a care package.
Yeah, we was them kids. You know, and I'm here to admit it. Everybody,
we a long way. We passed that. No, that's your testimony.
We ain't passed it, but see,
I'm saying it made you who you are today.
Yeah, and so I go back every year, and I will help pack them toys for kids and everything. The same kids I was.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Same kid I was. Just got some out there. So guess what we do?
You know what they call that, ladies, and not to cut you off. They call that paying it forward. Yeah. It was a blessing for him at that time. Them sheriff office care packages. It was a time where they needed it. They didn't want it. It was dire. And this brother just said that's why he go back and make sure that program still functions. That is called paying your blessings forward. Well, I just wanted to get that on.
I don't make it so it's functional, but I add to it.
Well, you know, just in general basics.
Yeah. But you know how people live.
But it came from just spoke about your past, and it just connected to why the story, the passion behind.
But see, the thing about it is, you know, some people take that offensive, and they're rolling. Oh, just you make it happen? No, I don't want to make them think I just make it happen.
Well, I worded that wrong.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Because see, people take stuff and they twist it up.
You contribute.
That's right. I contribute that. Contribute toys to it. But that's that toys for tots.
What I was trying to highlight though is like how it come from a genuine place of
yeah.
I don't want to say trauma, but you know what it's like to be one of those kids that ain't got a new school uniform or new school shoes or food every night, or you know what it's like to. Yeah. And a lot of people like to talk about the problems of the community, but ain't doing shit.
No, they're not.
That is an example of see a problem, fix a problem.
But that's being a man. You don't have to initiate and know what the problem is. Just stuff that needs to be done. You just go do it. You just do it on your own. Yeah. Anybody gotta tell you. Right. You just gotta, sign a few papers to make sure that you can do it. They'll let you. But guess what? Other than that, you see something need to be done, just go and do it, no matter what the case is. That's what goes back to the thing of it's like a lot of people don't know about eating beans every day of the week. That's all you got to eat. You know what I'm saying?
What kind, if you don't mind? Pork and beans?
Nah.
Red
beans.
Oh, Lord. Oh!
Every day.
Red beans, cool.
Beans if you like it, beans if you don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can relate to that.
See, like I said, I never told a lot of people that because you think they'll believe that.
They need to know. They need to hear this, though, Sam.
My mom used to cook on a heater when the stove didn't work. We had a heater in the house. That's why I told about the cutting wood every day.
How?
She made it work. She made it work every day.
Lord rest her soul.
You can believe that woman you
That's
saw.
Similar to how them dudes be in prison cutting hair with razors and a comb.
Correct.
You won't think about it till you see KT could do that. But that's
oh yeah.
Keep going, man. You gonna make me tear up in here, man.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a time what I did was I ain't gonna just say, but they say no names because, like I said, you gotta ask permission about their names sometimes. But what happened was, I was so inspired, just say inspired with how my mama was feeling bad, and and say she was like, hey, I don't feel like nobody shouldn't say this, say that about us, and I kind of, I thought at the time, since I was the oldest boy, the only boy actually that I was like, okay, so look, this what I'm gonna do. I'm finna act bad with everybody. Anybody come at my mama, this what I'm gonna do. Oh, that's what I said now. We got some stuff brought to us one time, and I mistook and misunderstood what was going on. So what I did was I took the stuff back out the house, threw it out on the ground, and told them, hey, you can keep your stuff. I don't need it. We don't need it either.
Let me be honest. You said you keep your shit. You said shit.
No,
You didn't say you said stuff.
I told them keep stuff.
I'm being messy.
Because I knew if I said that, I'm gonna definitely get beat now.
Oh, so the respect factor was still there, respect even in rebellion.
Even right now, I still deal with the folks, and his respect still there. Because when they're around, guess what? I'm still a kid. They still the adults. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't even drink around.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think is missing in this era. A child don't know a child's place.
And that's why I said
back in our era, when you was a child, speaking amongst grown folk, you got that quiet pow.
Yeah, or that knuckle. But see that. But that's why I said. That's why I said earlier. You have to be the adult because they got to know their place. If they don't know their place, you got some wild stuff going on.
But in fairness, a lot of laws has changed since then to where you used to be able to beat the shit out your kids, and there's a lot of things is against the law now. So we've been kind of.
But that's the point.
Handicapped.
But that's the point right there.
As parents, as to how we can discipline.
Yeah, but it's a certain way we can discipline our children still.
And I think that's what I'm trying to find.
See, the thing about it is, that part of it starts when they're younger. You don't call the 911 on me because I'm doing what's best for you. That's how that starts. You don't run off and go tell somebody else what I did to you because I'm doing what's best for you. You got to lay here every night. You can't lay over there every night. Once you lay over there every night, guess what? It's different rules and different things are provided. Right. They call that thing foster care.
Right.
They don't call it, oh, I can go to my cousin's house and stay here like they used to. Remember? I can go over here to my aunt's house for a couple of days.
It was different.
Right.
I go by my grandma.
Correct. Now, this called foster care. You can't go over here and just say, I'm going to lay here.
No. Not responsible for
That's correct. So when you leave my house and go over here, it's some whole paperwork going on, and it's not going to be the same as you over here. You get cakes and cookies. You may not even get that over here at all. Mm-hmm. They may not even have the cakes and cookies over here. You know what they're saying? What they're saying? Cookies and you know what I'm saying?
You know how we used to go back in the day. Me and my brothers come up same, poor, and that's no diss at my mama. My mama did what she could. So let me be clear about that. My mama loved us dearly, but going to the grocery store was hell because we couldn't pick up the candy. All we knew was no. I know better now, but I thought she was just a mean old. But look, this is something I did with my daughter because things that my mother did, and I just took it to another level. I knew I was up against the world once my era came to be a parent, which was far different from your era in being a parent. And the imageries that was out there, females are on the rise. They have their independence, and as y'all should, totally for it. But the narrative behind it was putting the imagery out of normalizing whole behavior, right? So they normalized it. Some would argue that being a hoe has been normalized.
But that's the thing. That's kind of what's wrong now. We can't really describe and say what's a hoe. You gotta get a description.
I stand correct.
You got.
That's a good point.
Think about it. If we do that, guess what we doing? We knocking our daughter with this. We knocking our cousin, little cousin. We knocking grandma.
I didn't see
You know
it
what I'm
that. I
saying?
never looked at it like that.
Because
That's a good point.
but that's what I'm saying. You gotta look at it deep. That's why I say hoe. Because what is a hoe? What you know? What is
and I see where you're going with that, but let me get the point I was trying to make out across first.
Go ahead.
So what I would do with my daughter when she was old enough to comprehend, I would go on YouTube, sit her down, and make her watch Angela Davis. You know, the Black Panther. I wanted her to see that woman ain't always had this imagery out there. There are, the Angela Davis, the Maya Angelou era. Like that used to be something that I would incorporate with my daughter. Not to say that what's going on now isn't okay. It's just like I want you to know the difference. Like you don't have to act like that if you don't want to, and I'm gonna prove it. Look at Angela Davis. And I used to make her watch Hour Long, and I think in a funny way. And it's not saying my kid no better than everybody. I just took time to do stuff like that. I think whether it's conscious or subconscious, it had an impact. In other words, they say parenting starts at the home. Damn the school. If I'm doing stuff like that on my own, just as, showing my daughter her history, showing her the culture, showing her that, there are strong Black women who don't agree with this way of living. It's not just men dissing it. There's women dissing this type of life. You need to see that. And again, it's not to say what they're doing is wrong. To your point, like, what is a hoe? Because that could be my grandma or my mom or anybody, right? Mm-hmm. And I always had this funny thing of saying, shit, how is she? Everybody a hoe at the end of the day. How the fuck you think we got here? You know what I'm saying? My mama ain't married. So my daddy was bringing her back in.
But see, that's why I say I hate to they say really diss on men, but you got to look at it's got a lot of men out here that was in back in the days that had 4 different families.
Yeah,
3-4 different families.
Yeah, Papa was a rolling stone.
And and nowadays you got guys out here with 30 kids, 40 kids.
Yeah, that's how my mama, my mama and my grandpa and my grandpa had 11 kids total. That was normal back in the day to have 10 or more.
But the only thing is about the 11 kids, guess what? That's all you knew. That made
my Aunt Evelyn was from another relation, and it was my grandma.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
that's my only auntie that is not. She's my like half auntie, if you will.
Yeah, I know, but
so grandma, and it wasn't pops, it was grandma.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like that's all we know is what they told us.
You right.
Just like that's all they know. Yeah. I mean, the kids know now is what we tell them. But see, like that's why I was like, I mean, I know you did this. You said the Angela Davis thing and all that there. I mean, that was a cool little thing, but at the same time, I made mine understand who their family is and what their family was like.
Yeah, I did that as well.
But see, that's what I'm saying. See,
we traveled to Houston, New Orleans.
We didn't have no YouTube back then. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, right. So that's what you had to rely on.
You had to rely on
family roots.
I'm finna go visit your aunt somebody, and when they get back in the car, well, why they act like that? Well, they act like that because that's how they was raised up here. I don't know, but that's how they were raised. And
that's a great point because, okay, I'll get this to the world because this is Lord, please don't let me get emotional. But I love my dad, rest in peace. But my dad could have been a whole lot more, just to not go all the way into it. And I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, but my mama's from Houston, Texas. And my daddy lived pretty much around the corner. And we had a whole family in New Orleans of Henrys. Keep in mind, I bear his last name. So come to find out later in life or after his passing, the Henry name in the Ninth Ward in New Orleans was a name to be reckoned with. And here's why I brought it up, because I started meeting my uncles and my cousins and all of this. And I never made sense. Like, I was always the black sheep, if you will, until I met Raynette. Shout out Raynette, my cousin. till I met Lil Ned, rest in peace. Like, oh, I'm more like my daddy's side. Dad go. But my dad gone now. So now it's either we develop these relationships on our own, which is hard to do because it's almost like I don't know these people, but they literally my first cousins, like first ain't something my mama did.
But that's still gonna live in you.
Like, cause my mama made sure we went to Houston every year. I know the Lakeys. I know my aunties, my uncles. She made it her business. And my people in New Orleans, I never met until he died, except for my uncle Renard, rest in peace. And when I was living with my daddy, I was in jail on probation. Me and my mama got into it. Went to live with my dad, but my uncle Renard was living there, and that was the best time of my life because my uncle Renard was a fool in a good way, but he made me and my brothers make sense. Because my Lakey side of the family, not saying they bougie, but they wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? Just that I don't give a fuck. That blunt, you know how I am. I'm very confident. I'm very a matter of fact. I'm blunt in what I say. I don't believe in sugarcoating. I thought I was crazy for a long time. And after that, I resented my daddy for a long time, even in his death, right? Like I resented him because I'm like, damn. Imagine finding out your daddy was the man after he died. So everybody got all these great stories. Like, man, Snooky, that was my dad's nickname. Man, Snooky was that. What? Y'all, don't say that, because that's my dad. Y'all, so you mean to tell me? So it makes sense that I still became a juggernaut on my own because my daddy's spirits lived through me. But imagine how much more I would know if he was there to, he tried later on, but it was like, I'm 16, 17, I'm off the porch now.
Yeah, but
it's a little too late.
But at the same time, if you'd have just say been there a little more, you might have had another opinion about life.
Me and my brothers feel that way. It's a very, very, we hate it, like, because it's like, when you think your dad is a deadbeat, or if he is, you think you hate him until you realize you don't. If that makes sense. Like, nigga, I needed you and now you gone and everybody here talking all this good shit about you.
That you ain't know nothing about.
You did everything for it, but your kids, the ones who needed the most.
Yeah.
You made my mama suffer through all that shit. Like.
Yeah, but that's what a kid.
You see, I'm getting passionate about it now.
Yeah, but
I was young and stupid, of course.
No, but that's where you stay in a child place with, because you don't know what these adults talked about. And what went on. You don't know what mama said behind the closed door. Oh. You don't know what daddy said behind the closed door. Daddy could have been asking and begging to get the kids, and guess what? She still said no.
But my mom wasn't one of them though. My mom
was. You know?
I know, because she used to drop us off.
You never know.
Well, I ain't gonna say I know, but I know this much. Mm-hmm. My mama wasn't one of them ones that kept him away from us.
I get that. Yeah,
like my mama would do stuff like lie about Christmas gifts and put my daddy's name on it.
True, but
she told us later in life that
if she told us later in life,
she wanted us to believe that our dad, like she would let my daddy borrow her car because he ain't had no car to take us out.
Yeah, but see, you know what though?
Like, no excuses, nigga. But look, come get your kids.
Boy, check it out. This what you don't know. It got a lot of parents that still lie to their kids about what went on back then. If they grown, tell them. If they to a state that they can understand, really tell them what went on. If the kids keep asking, tell them. Don't sit there and hold a sugarcoated bag. Don't, like you said, no sugarcoating. Tell them. And that might explain a lot of stuff that go on with them, where they making mistakes that we don't know nothing about because they're not telling us. And the way we find out the mistakes, like you saying about the connection, that's part of the connection.
That's kind of why I am the way with my daughter. Like, I don't hide who I am in front of my daughter. Some people like, I need her to know who her daddy is.
Yeah.
Like the uncut, like, no, like if my daughter was to tell you like the politically correct answer, they're gonna be like, my daddy's a very bright, articulate, intelligent, But if she was like on some, she'd be like, shit, my dad, he off the chain. You know, I don't hide nothing from my daughter. Like,
Okay.
I let her know about the street era, the jail era, the hustling era, to the achievement eras, the getting jobs and accomplishing things, and so it's like I don't sugarcoat who I am in front of my daughter. And some people be like, "Why you?" Because she need to see this.
Yeah.
Like, this is who your father is. So if she start doing certain things in her life, it probably start making, because that's what I missed. I didn't understand myself till I met my other side, my dad, the Henrys.
Yeah.
I'm like, for a long time I was trying to find myself, Sam. Like, I must be weird. I must be. And then I met my cousin Raynette. And I know if she was, I love you, girl. And I'm like, when you meet a person and you know out the gate, that's really my cousin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's just a, and I thought to myself, what if I've been knowing you like my cousin Thomas from my mama's side all my life?
Yeah.
And y'all was actually in the place where I spent the most time. All I had to do was go to that night wall, but it's almost like my daddy purposely kept us away from that, because that's my hood side, and I was headed down that path. And he like, I don't even want you around in that night wall, cause you cutting up in the east, but still that ain't your right to keep me away from my people.
Yeah,
because I was lost.
Yeah, but that's kind of what we do as parents. We try to protect our kids from all of that. We can tell y'all that stuff and this, that, and other, but we supposed to try to keep our kids away from it. So, but some kids still go. They still turn that path. They still go down.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's
a fact.
Yeah, regardless.
You could do everything.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
But thing about it is, what's in you is in you. You can't take it out. But the only thing you can do is I ain't gonna say really just control it, but maintain it. You know what you gotta do in life. I gotta have this bill paid, so I have to be under control and this professional person so I can get this job and pay this bill.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's something that you got to do.
I like that.
One thing about life is that you'll find out is I got, like I said, I got some wild people in my family, both sides.
Well, I met a few of them.
Oh man, both sides.
I met a few of them.
Yeah, I mean some wild folks. But the thing about it is too, at the end of the day, I have to be who I am. I can choose if I want to be this wild person, and then choose if I want to be this professional person. I gotta choose if I can be, hey, I'm gonna be this, charismatic person. Like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna jump off the river. Your cousin did that, but what happened?
Nigga died.
Yeah. What's next after that? Right. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I mean, you can do all that stuff, but then the thing about it is, at the end of the day, you gotta know what your responsibility level is and what you gotta be responsible for. You have to be, if you're a father, be a father. Don't be. I mean, I can tell you, oh, don't be this and don't be that, but be whatever kind of father you gonna be. I can't tell you what kind of father to be. I can only be what father I'm gonna be. Can
I add something? Is there a distinct difference when you're a black father in America?
It's a lot of distinct difference in that.
And to the young fathers out there that may watch this, what do you suggest as being specifically a black father in America?
Again, patience. Be aware of your surroundings. Make your own surroundings. Because the thing about it is, like I said, at the end of the day, you gotta watch your surroundings, because you never know, like who's saying what about you, and if does that bother you because they saying this, saying that shouldn't bother you when you got the responsibility of being a father. Because guess what, you have a child that's looking at you coming up. When a child looking at you coming up, you got you're gonna have all kinds of distractions. You got to be the one that's gonna maintain.
And the reason I brought it up, because as a black man in America, we behind the 8 ball already.
True.
So, but then they still hold us to the standards of what a father should be on the even playing field. but we really already behind the 8 ball as black men in America. So the expectations, they don't change the expectations based on the condition of the black man in America. So we are still held to the standard, or they look at us, if we are not the standard, they base us, they judge us off what the standard is without the context. And I know some niggas is just suckers and they deadbeats. But there are those fine line situations like you mentioned earlier, like, do you really know? Like I done seen brothers that want to be fathers and they, the mother of their kids are really, and then that's one thing to deal with. And then the job, and then the police, and then like, God damn, like I can't
win.
They taking all my money out my check for child support, and by the time I get my money, it's $38. Then I go to jail if I not, and then they still keep acquiring. And that's not an excuse. I'm just saying it.
Yeah, but that's why I say you have to have.
There's somebody dealing with that right now and don't know how to find his way out of that.
But the first thing you got to have a relationship with God. That's the first thing. Then once you got that relationship with God, you gonna really know. You gonna know how to deal with things, because guess what? It's options out here that we're not sitting down being, like I said, being patient, sitting down looking at all your options, lay everything on the table. Just like child support. You can go back with child support and just say, okay, look, if you getting $38 each check, look, we're gonna go renegotiate this. It's gonna have to be renegotiated. My rent $700, so I got to have something for my rent. I got to have my eat. So look, if you can talk to her, hey, can you take this and this, because once you do child support, you're not getting all the money anyway. They taking money for paperwork.
They take that percentage. I know.
They taking for paperwork.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
I done paid the government
like I said, you think that you making me man up, but you losing. Where you paying?
I might have been paying more.
Well, no.
Before
it's
gonna go off of your.
Well, no. I know it go off. I've been on it before. I've been on child support.
Unfortunately for me, I make a lot of money, so I was just.
No, back then. It's like if you pay, let's say, like, I'll just give an example. If I pay $2,000 worth of child support, you're only gonna get right at $1,700, $1,800 or less.
Yeah, they're gonna take their cut.
Now, when you do that, now you got to be like, you got to take like that $300 less. Now you still complaining because it's $300 less. You still I get $2,000. No, you get what the government give you now.
Yeah, legally, I'm good.
Yeah. Now if some people, they don't trust me in to say, okay, I'm gonna pay this and pay that, pay that. But at the same time, that's why you got to get together, each other, come together. This is what we're gonna do. I'm not going not with you. I don't care what you do with the money, because guess what? Child support got to go on somebody rent, somebody gas money, somebody, because guess what? That's the thing men get construed.
Yeah, I respect that part. I know where you're going.
But they get construed on it. They get mad.
They spend majority of the time with the mother if y'all not together. And that's one thing I salute you females on. I never complained about that, because I want my daughter living just as good at her mama house as when she come. I mean, I agree with that. I want to shout the ladies out for that part.
But you're not the only man that got that. You know what I'm saying? You got that mentality. But it got men out there to get them miscrewed. Because I'd heard dudes tell me, oh man, she's spending on that other dude, and it
ain't your business.
It ain't your business what she's spending on, because guess what? Your child it have lights in the house. Your child got something to eat every night.
They living.
Your child ain't calling you saying they hungry. Your child ain't calling you saying, man, daddy, my hair ain't done. Why? You know what I'm saying? That's the girls. Girls will do that. Your boys, they ain't calling and say, hey, we need haircuts. And if they do, guess what? Still pass it to them. Get away to pass it to them.
Yeah, that's another part. I'm glad you mentioned that. Because child support don't mean that's it. Because, well, it could mean legally, but if you're a real man, because child support is just on paper.
That's right.
Man, if I add up the cash money that, I get, and willingly, I'm not saying I'm complaining about it, but it extends further. The mother of my child called me for a lot of other stuff. Like, and I don't complain. It's like, I know it's other, that's just the base amount that you, regardless of what I do this month, you gonna get that. But it's gonna be times where, look, she going to college or I want to put her in a private school, and we got you. That's my child. I want her to, with the, I guess what you saying is sometimes guys be like, once they on child support,
that's it.
They're hitting fellas.
I'm gonna treat this child like
no, you still gotta put up more.
Nah,
you don't have to, but you should.
I'm gonna treat this child like a car note.
Yeah, like nah, man. If my daughter called me right now and I pay my child support, hey, my baby mom, I ain't never, ever since I've been on child support, I ain't missed one payment, never been late, nothing. Only time I was late is when my job went over to a new paying system.
And that wasn't late.
And that was like 2 days. See, instead of Wednesday, it's a Friday now.
Yeah, that wasn't late.
That's it.
That's just a catch up.
That was the only, but because I've been employed 20 years straight. So, and we get into that time, I guess, man, great conversation, by the way. I feel good about this one.
Oh, yeah. That's why I say, but it's just,
this was
what I say, it's just,
yeah.
That's what they say, neighbor to neighbor about.
Yeah, neighbor to
neighbor.
You
can talk about anything with us, but thing about this, we just gotta have understanding. That's the thing. I talked about the man and woman, mom and dad or whatever. Gotta have understanding.
Yeah.
That's what we gotta do nowadays, but more understand about our children nowadays and what they're going through, what we going through, and kind of talk with them, explain to them, see how that works.
I like that. We can end it on that, understanding. So, if y'all don't get nothing else from this episode, develop that. If you married to that's a different story. But for those who got the situation like we alluding to, find that understanding and connection with the mother of your children, if possible. If not, there's other ways, like going to the courthouse on your own and making your situation. You gotta fight for your children. That's the bottom line. Like, that's your children. That's your legacy. That's who's gonna keep your bloodline going. So, but try to work it out and be co-parents with, take your pride out of it. Take all that out. Be a man. You understand? Because I've noticed and I've learned over time, even when you're not with somebody that you once was in love with, or maybe you just got knocked up. In my case, we were in a full-blown relationship. I've learned over time that respect grows when they see I'm not a father because I was with you. With or without you, that's my baby. Even if we can't make it out, that's cool. And it ain't no bad blood. I wish you the best, and I hopefully you genuinely wish me the best. And we can. But as far as this kid, we gonna come together, and we gonna be best friends for this.
Teach him how to pray.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a good way to end it. Just come together and y'all learn how to co-parent better. Last episode got cut short because my memory ran out. Y'all don't know that, but it's a lot we missed. So, again, I appreciate you. Another episode of Neighbor to Neighbor. We gonna, right? Yeah, we once a week or twice, but no less than once. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure out the days and time as we go. But for now, we just we developing it. I know y'all say I got my deuce light in the back. For all y'all know my deuces. Yeah, and I'm gonna have a new thing on. Let me take it. I always be like, as always, deuces. But now, when we in, I'm gonna be like, always deuces. Deuces. Oh, we invested around here.
Yeah.
But until next time, I appreciate you, brother. This has been another episode of Neighbor to Neighbor. Y'all tune in next week for the next one. And we gone.